You know how we're always told to eat our fruits, our veggies, and all those whole grains? Well, what if I told you that some of the healthiest foods on the planet contain a hidden secret? Natural compounds that can actually block our bodies from getting the very nutrients we're eating them for. Yeah, it's a real paradox, and it sits right at the heart of modern nutrition.
Does this sound familiar? You're doing everything right. You're eating clean, you've got all the superfoods, but you still feel like you're just running on empty. Maybe you're even taking supplements to try and fill in the gaps. Well, you're not imagining it. This is a genuine biological puzzle.
And this is exactly what we call the healthy diet paradox. You're putting all the good stuff in, but that doesn't guarantee your body's actually absorbing it. So what on earth is going on here?
Okay, so let's get the usual suspects out of the way first. We know why deficiencies can happen, right? A poor diet is the obvious one. Or maybe medical conditions like celiac disease, or times when your body just needs more, like during pregnancy. And yeah, some medications can interfere too, but that's only part of the story.
Here's where it gets interesting. What if you're perfectly healthy, eating a great diet, and still not getting what you need? What if the problem is coming from the food itself? What if our healthiest foods have a kind of built-in defense system that stops us from getting their full benefit?
Well, it's time to meet the surprising culprits, a group of compounds called anti-nutrients. So what are they? To put it simply, anti-nutrients are these natural compounds, mostly in plant-based foods, that get in the way of nutrient absorption. They can literally grab onto vitamins and minerals, which reduces their bioavailability, and that's just a fancy way of saying it stops our bodies from being able to actually use them.
But wait, why would plants even have these? Well, it's all about survival. Think of anti-nutrients as a plant's own personal security system. It's their chemical armor to keep pests, insects, and other animals from eating them. It's a really brilliant strategy for the plant, but it can have some unintended consequences for us.
And get this, they're hiding in plain sight in so many of our healthiest foods. Phytic acid, that's in your grains, nuts, and beans. Tannins, in your tea and coffee. Oxalates, yep, in your spinach. Glucosinolates are in broccoli and cabbage. And lectins are in beans and grains too. You see the pattern here? These things are everywhere in what we think of as a healthy diet. Okay, so we know they're in our food, but what are they actually doing inside our bodies? Let's take a look at how they work their magic. One of their main moves is something called chelation, and phytic acid is an absolute master at it. So, on the left, you see how it's supposed to work. Minerals like iron and zinc are just floating around, ready for your body to absorb. But on the right, see how phytic acid latches onto them? It binds to them so tightly that it creates these little packages our bodies can't open. So those valuable minerals just pass right through you, totally unused.
And chelation isn't their only trick, oh no. Some of them, like the protease inhibitors in soybeans, can block the very enzymes we need to digest protein. Others, like the glucosinolates in broccoli, can mess with your thyroid's ability to get iodine. And tannins, like from tea, can bind up proteins, making them harder to absorb. It's like a multi-pronged attack on getting your nutrients.
So what does this all mean for you and your diet? This brings us to the final and I think most important part of all this. How do we unlock our food's full potential? The biggest takeaway here is not to start fearing spinach or cutting out beans. Seriously, that would be a huge mistake because you'd miss out on all those amazing benefits. The key isn't to eliminate them. It's to mitigate their effects. We just have to be a little smarter about how we prepare these foods.
And luckily for us, people have known how to handle this for centuries. These aren't new age health hacks. This is ancient wisdom. Simply soaking your beans and grains reduces a ton of phytates and lectins. Sprouting them works wonders too. Fermentation, like when you make sourdough bread, breaks these compounds down. And good old-fashioned cooking with heat knocks out a lot of them.
And what all of these simple methods have in common is that they dramatically increase the bioavailability of all the good stuff, the minerals, the vitamins, the protein. By taking these easy steps, you really get the best of both worlds. You get all those powerful bioactive compounds, and you get the essential nutrients they come with. It completely solves the paradox we started with.